Good morning and welcome to the DFS YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11. You can find me on X at Razzle11 Here to take a look at some pitching for today, the 14th of June. It is Sunday. We do have a 10-game main slate. Feels like a little larger than normal. It is starting in just under 2 hours, but there's a lot of money to be won out there, so we need to take a look into the pitching options. Trying to make some decisions, trim down our pitcher pool so that we can focus on some bats. I do think it's going to be an offensive day overall, but there are some strong pitching options on this particular slate. A reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where the majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. 10 games, 22 pitchers because we have 2 openers. Obviously, we don't worry about openers. Jumping to the first one game, Seattle, Washington. Big fan of this game from offensive standpoint. Miles Mikolas as the long man. Seattle in a pretty good spot. I wish Arozarena was healthy. I wish Cal Raleigh was returning. It looked like he's hit like 4 home runs this week in his rehab. Obviously no interest in the Washington pitching staff in this game. Emerson Hancock, probably somebody we're going to play. I prefer the Washington bat side of it, but Hancock's been pretty good. 2 earned runs or fewer in 7 of his last 8 starts. We're just not going to see this start. I'll pinpoint it every time I talk about Hancock. We're not getting 14 strikeouts. I don't even know that we're getting 7, to be honest. I guess it's possible. There are some strikeouts in this lineup. Washington's lineup's pretty dangerous, but I think Hancock just has to be in play on this slate. San Diego, Baltimore, I'm not interested in either pitcher. I'm obviously just not going to be interested in Walker Buehler basically ever on a main slate, as long as we have enough games. Big fan of the Baltimore offense. Trevor Rogers, I wish he was throwing the ball better. I would be interested in him against San Diego under normal circumstances, but he just hasn't been good. A high of 3 strikeouts over the last 2 months. 3 strikeouts in a start is his high. Just not an interesting option right now. I'm not sure if we'll ever see last year's version of Trevor Rogers again, but as much as I like picking on San Diego, I just can't get there today. Will Warren against Toronto. They don't really strike out a whole lot. That's an issue. He hasn't been a big K guy recently. Some walks. I think he's going to be in play, but I'm not super excited. He's actually been pretty good on the road, just not from a fantasy points perspective. But his overall numbers on the road have been pretty solid. Does allow a few more base runners, but still. I think I'm just going to sprinkle in some Warren, but I can find myself passing on him as well. Patrick Corbin, I have no interest in Patrick Corbin. Despite the fact that I have been taking some pitching against the Yankees over the last week and a half or so. Arizona, Cincinnati, a game of offense for me. No real interest in Andrew Abbott. Some numbers not the greatest. He's given up 10 home runs. Kind of surprising he hasn't given up more, to be honest, but his home numbers not great at all. Arizona's going to be one of the more popular teams on the slate, I do believe. And I have zero interest in Zach Gallen. Road Zach Gallen is a thing that I avoid, even though I've started to avoid him at home as well. Detroit, Cleveland, very interesting. Cleveland, Gavin Williams. Detroit's offense has kind of started to heat up a little bit, but Gavin's been so dominant against Detroit in the past that I just don't think I can get off of Gavin Williams as one of my top options. His home runs are up recently. Strikeouts have kind of come down a little bit, but I still think he's in a great spot. Casey Mize coming off of the IL. Threw just 55 pitches in his rehab start. Very similar scenario to Tarik Skubal yesterday. I am going to sprinkle in some Casey Mize because the Cleveland lineup lost Jose Ramirez, Chase DeLauder, and potentially Angel Martinez yesterday. The Cleveland lineup has to be pretty ugly. Let's take a look at it. Patrick Bailey, Hoskins, Manzardo, Bazana, obviously still pretty good. Rocchio hitting second now. It just looks so weak without Jose Ramirez in it. I'm going to sprinkle in some Casey Mize, but I don't love it just for the fact that he might only throw 70 pitches. And one rough inning from a pitch count standpoint could mean he's done in 4. And I'm not really excited about that on a 10-game slate. Atlanta and the Mets. I think I'm going to end up fading Freddie Peralta. I don't know. I have to decide. He hasn't been good at home this season. Atlanta, dangerous even without Acuna. I just don't know if I'm going to get to Freddie Peralta. On the other side, Bryce Elder. I do like Bryce Elder a little bit. It feels gross to admit that, but he's been better on the road. Nearly 20 fantasy points per game on the road. Not really allowing any hits. I think the overall Mets lineup's weak enough. Some of them have started to heat up. Juan Soto's a big worry for me. Maybe a little Bo Bichette as well. Dodgers, White Sox. Eric Fedde is a long man. No thank you against this Dodgers team. But Emmett Sheehan, somebody I'm interested in. Yamamoto absolutely dominated yesterday. Sheehan's looked a little rough recently. Strikeouts have come down in 3 out of his last 4 appearances. But there's still a ton of upside. A couple extra days of rest. It's been a week now since he last pitched. So I think he's probably in a pretty good spot. And the problem is he might be a little overowned just based on what Yamamoto did yesterday. Cardinals, Twins. Talked about Taj Bradley in the article that I just dropped a little bit ago. I'm going to save that for the members of DFS Army. McGreevy, not really somebody I'm overly interested in. I think I'll be fine. Obviously, did show massive ceiling just over a month ago, but I just don't think I'm getting there on this slate. Houston, Kansas City. Steven Kolek's been really good at home. But like 8 strikeouts in 20 innings at home, it's not ideal. Do I think that he could have a decent game? Maybe. But I just don't think there's enough upside for him. I realize he did throw a complete game shutout, but like in that complete game shutout, he put up 30 DK points. Like that's what some of these pitchers are putting up in 6 and 7 innings. And Kolek went all 9, got the complete game and the shutout bonus, and still only racked up 30. So I just don't think he has enough upside for us. Spencer Arrighetti is somebody I need to dig into a little bit more. Kansas City lost Pasquantino, who went on the IL with a broken hamate bone. Same issue with Jose Ramirez. Maybe Arrighetti has to be in play. I'm just not sure yet. Hasn't been as good on the road, but he's not been bad either. He just walks a bunch of dudes on the road. One nice thing is he does keep the ball in the ballpark. So I do think there's some upside for him. And based on the fact that there isn't really a ton of pitching to love, outside of Gavin Williams and then this last game, really for me, I think we have to consider Arrighetti. Speaking of the last game, we get Christopher Sanchez, the guy that beat out Mizorowski for the pitcher of the month in the NL for May, as a lot to do to catch up to Mizorowski in June at this point, but still, both of his June starts have been basically 31 plus fantasy points. He did give up 3 runs in those 2 starts after not giving up a single run in May. That's the frustrating part. And I say frustrating because it's not really, right? Like, he's been so good. and you've heard me say it a lot this season, I do like left-handed pitching against the Milwaukee Brewers. So Christopher Sanchez, the obvious number one, super expensive, $400 cheaper than what Mizorowski was on Friday. The other side, Kyle Harrison. Coming off of a horrendous start in Las Vegas, kind of give him a little bit of a pass. He had been so good for a while. We did kind of expect somewhat of a blow-up start at some point, a regression start, but it's a decent spot for him to kind of bounce back. One of the issues I do worry about here, though, is he struck out 4 in that A's game, but 2 against St. Louis 3 starts ago. Some of his K numbers are starting to bounce around a lot more. Former, big-time prospect with the Giants. Didn't really work out with Boston. Milwaukee kind of unlocked some things, but there's always the capability of some wildness, walks like he had against the Yankees here. Just a few more base runners. And Philly does have a lineup that can take advantage of him, but again, I want to play some Harrison, a decent amount. Just for $900 more, I'd much rather play Christopher Sanchez on this slate. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package, or promo code BESTBALL2026 will get you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership, and that is for the life of your membership. In the description below, there's also a link to the merch store. You can check out my design. I have it on hoodies. You can check out some of the other stuff we have in the shop as well. Hit the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about that Sanchez versus Harrison matchup. I do really wish it would have been Sanchez versus Mizorowski. I think that would have been fantastic baseball. What other matchup are you really looking forward to? Is it Gavin Williams versus Mize? Is it Peralta versus Elder? But that's all I got for you guys. Best of luck.